You just walked out of the job interview thinking, I nailed it. But days go by, no call, no offer. It wasn't your resume, it wasn't your skills. It was something you said, one of those job interview phrases to avoid, and no one tells you what it was. These are silent disqualifiers that quietly take you out of the running. Today, I'm breaking down 5 phrases that wreck job interviews, why they backfire, and what to say instead, line for line. And if you've ever frozen mid-answer or second-guessed your responses, I'll show you a free tool I use to help clients rehearse tough questions and sharpen their interview communication skills. Mistake number 1. So what do you guys do here? Let's start with one of the most common interview red flags, a question that sounds innocent but kills your credibility in seconds. It tells the hiring manager you didn't do your homework, and if you didn't prepare for the interview, how can they trust you to prepare for the job? So say this instead. I saw in the job description that this role involves managing several executive calendars. Could you tell me more about the tools your team uses and how success is measured? Intel check. Before any interview, read the company's about page, current news, and LinkedIn profiles of the people you're meeting with. This isn't just prep, it's recon. You're stepping into a mission, not a mystery. Let me share with you one of my interview screw-ups. I was once asked in the interview, why should we hire you? And I blanked. So I blurted out with, why wouldn't you? They laughed, but not in a good way. It wasn't clever, it was a dodge. And I knew it the second it came out of my mouth. If that hits a nerve and you've experienced a similar screw up, drop your worst interview slip up in the comments. What's one phrase you wish you could take back the second it left your mouth? I'm Robbie Turner, Air Force veteran, former federal hiring panelist, and now a full-time career coach. I've sat across from hundreds of applicants, people who look great on paper, but lost their shot because of what came out of their mouths once the interview started. Let's make sure that's not you. Mistake number 2. My last boss was a nightmare. You might think honesty shows character, but that kind of honesty sets off alarms. Trash talking your former employer makes you look petty, bitter, or like a potential problem. Say this instead. I learned a lot at my last company, but after some recent leadership changes, I'm now looking for a role that better aligns with my values around communication and growth. You need to stay calm, professional, focused on what you want, not who hurt you. That tells them you can handle conflict without bringing drama. That's real interview advice for job seekers. Mistake number 3. I'm here to learn. This one feels humble, but it silently tells the interviewer 3 things, and this is just off the top of my head. You're not ready to contribute. You might be a time suck. You're just using this as practice. Say this instead. I'm excited to apply my skills in XYZ to help your team achieve XYZ goal. At the same time, I'm always looking to grow, and this role seems like the right balance of both. Little known fact, employers aren't hiring students, they're hiring solutions. If you lead with what you can absorb instead of what you can solve, you've already lost the frame. Here's a quick war story. I once interviewed a candidate who said, honestly, I'm just here to soak everything up. He meant it as a compliment, but all we heard was, I'm not ready. He had a great attitude, but wrong message. Real talk, what's the worst job interview advice you've ever been given? Drop it in the comments, because I might even roast it in a future video. Mistake number 4. I don't know. It's honest, but it kills momentum. It makes you look unprepared, unsure, and worse, untrustworthy. Hiring managers don't expect you to know everything, but they do expect you to handle pressure like a pro. This is a huge test of your interview communication skills. Say this instead. That's a great question. I want to give you a thoughtful answer. Could we come back to that in a moment? Or you could always say, just to make sure I understand. Are you asking about internal collaboration or cross-functional teamwork? Intel check. It's not about having every answer. It's about showing how you think when you don't have one. And the next one, it's the phrase most people think make them sound polite, but it quietly ends the interview on a flat note. Mistake number 5. No, I don't have any questions. This is one of those things not to say in the interview that sounds polite, but backfires hard. It's not humble, it's a missed opportunity. It's a silent handshake that says, I'll take anything. That's not the energy you want to end on. Say this instead. I actually do. What does success look like in this role after 6 months? Or can you tell me more about the team's culture and how collaboration usually plays out across the department? Little known fact, great questions aren't about getting the job. They're about showing you're already thinking you're in it. Smart questions get remembered. If you're nervous about how to answer job interview questions or tend to freeze up, there's a free tool I recommend to every client. It's called Yoodli. It helps you rehearse answers out loud, flags filler words, and gives real-time feedback on tone and pacing, so you can fix your delivery before the real interview even starts. Want to stop winging it and start sounding mission ready? Link is in the description. You just cleared 5 traps that silently ruin interviews, even for the most qualified people. But here's the kicker. Even if you say all the right things, if you say them the wrong way, you still lose the offer. Tone, timing, confidence. There's a science to how top candidates deliver answers, and I'll break that down next. You'll learn what to say, how to say it, and how to leave them picturing you in the role. We're dialing in your win strategy. Your next mission starts right here.